Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. In today's video I'm going to be going through some of the new devices that I've gone and bought to go onto my smart home network via Home Assistant. So let's check them out. So right at the beginning of this series I said that I wanted to add some Zigbee based devices onto my new smart home network as I go through setting everything back up with Home Assistant, giving Home Assistant another try. Now had a bit of a look into this. There's various devices I could have gone down the route of, but for somebody who's kind of trying all this out again and actually not having tried Zigbee before, what I thought I'd do is give Aqara a go. Appreciate there's a lot of videos about Aqara products on YouTube. Most of those have been supplied by Aqara. I'm too smaller channel to have stuff supplied by Aqara, so I've actually bought these off AliExpress. Bought these a good couple of months ago, and they're not as expensive as you might actually think. This is one of two switches, so they came in a bundle of two, and they were £13.64 for two of them. And I think one of the things that you see with a lot of the reviews, especially when the products are being supplied, is that they're probably already in situ, really. So and it's difficult to actually judge how big these things actually are, or how small they are. And it's only when you actually get these things into your own hands and actually realize these things are actually tiny. So I've got a AAA battery here for size comparison. I think it's probably the best thing to use with a lot of these devices that I've got. So it's the same height or same overall dimensions as a AAA battery, which I think is just incredible. So if you've not seen one of these, this isn't going to be a big review of it. I'm going to go through all the products that I've got, but as I go along and I implement these, I may do a bit of a review of how they've worked out. So I guess the thing with these is that you can just stick these anywhere, maybe on a wall, on a table, something like that, at the side of a unit, and these can fire off your automations. They are, because they're Zigbee based products, they take a CR 2032 coin type battery, and they apparently have quite a long lifespan. So really kind of interested to see how well these work out. Now obviously Aqara, it's quite a well-known brand. They have their own hub as well, but I'll come to the hub that or the route that I've gone in a little minute. But that's one of the switches. Obviously I'm not going to show you the other one, but I just thought it'd be worthwhile just having a look at that. And then one of the next items that I got, which a lot of people have done reviews on these, are the door switches, or the door contact sensors or window contact sensors. And if you've got an alarm system installed in your house, you've probably got some of these things used to protect entrances and exits within your house. And certainly ones I've seen before, they're considerably larger than this. So just bringing out that trusty AAA battery, this is actually smaller than a AAA battery for the main contact. Then obviously the bit which is the magnet, just there, is half the size of the AAA battery. So they're just tiny. These are so discreet. You just wouldn't notice these really if you had these stuck on your windows or something like that. So again, lots of things you can do with these. Just because they're door or window contact sensors doesn't mean to say you have to actually use them for that. Some very clever things have been done with those. So that's for me to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with that. Next one, Just on the cost of that door sensor. So they were actually, these are the new version. These are the E1 contact sensors. So that was almost the most expensive item there. That was £12.31, which, if you go for the previous version, is considerably cheaper. So I guess it's, you know, whether you need the additional functionality. Next item is a temperature sensor. Again, you know, these things, just the packaging, you know, the picture's actually true to life on the packaging, which is incredible. It's not normally like that. But, you know, again, another tiny thing. These are actually smaller than the actual switches as well. So, you know, 2/3 the size of a AAA battery there. So, you know, you can do some very clever things with these. People have put these in, you know, the 3D printed cases and put these outdoors. You know, use them as a little bit of a you know, weather sensor, I suppose, temperature sensor and whatnot. You can hook them up to your air conditioning, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you know, I've got a couple of ideas of what I'm going to do. I've only got one of these. You know, apart from the switches, everything that I bought is just one of. Obviously, you know, again, cost. It's something, you know, if it doesn't work out for me, I don't really want to have spent an absolute fortune on a drawer full of smart devices. So the temperature sensor, that was £11.42. So not too bad a price for what you actually get there. And then one of the so kind of like the last item, which you know, kind of needs to go with some of these things, the way I'm going to use it. So this is effectively a motion sensor, and I really did think this was going to be an awful lot larger than what this actually has turned out to be. So this was the most expensive. This was £12.87. Obviously the switches were more expensive, but you got two of those to the back. So as a single item, this was the most expensive, but obviously it does an awful lot more. So you actually get like a little mount for this as well, if you need to be able to mount it somewhere. But, you know, if you wanted to kind of stick that on a shelf or something like that, you know, discreetly, you can do. Again, absolutely tiny, you know, just over 2/3 the size of a AAA battery. You know, when you look at the size of kind of like PIR motion sensors on alarm systems, which are generally kind of, you know, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times the size of this thing, it'd be really interesting to see how well this actually performs, you know, across a room. So yeah, keen to get that set up and give that a bit of a go. So they were the Aqara items that I got. Additionally, and this was the one that was a real kind of struggle for me to find, certainly for UK based items, you know, something that you could use with a 3-pin plug, and that was a Zigbee based socket. Now, not just any type of socket. What I wanted was something that had power monitoring, and didn't look like it was some kind of, you know, mammoth brick sticking out the wall, really. So I actually have a Wi-Fi version of these, and they are just kind of like a fairly generic plug, really. The Wi-Fi, almost identical packaging, identical design, but from a completely different manufacturer. Individually, these were £7.57 each, which for a Zigbee 3 based smart plug with power monitoring, I think is an absolute fantastic price. I'm not quite sure whether these will act as a Zigbee extender. Couldn't really find any information about that, but you know, I will obviously see what happens in that. But you know, these plugs, these are actually for size, you know, these are fantastic. As I say, I've got the Wi-Fi ones, and you know, I've used a TP-Link Wi-Fi smart plug before, and you know, they are huge compared to these. So you know, these are quite a nice little units. And then to kind of go with this, I've gone down the route of the Sonoff Zigbee 3 USB dongle, or dongle plus. So obviously the idea is that this will plug into the back of the Intel NUC that I've got, which is running Home Assistant. So you can just screw in the aerial on the back there, and obviously I've got a USB extender cable as well. So this is going to get flashed. I'll put on the latest firmware and everything. So this wasn't that expensive. I think this was about £9, something like that, if that. So yeah, interested to see how that's going to work out. These devices are apparently all compatible and will work with this. So there will be a video coming to the channel on flashing that, so look out for that one. And finally, so yeah, these aren't Zigbee. They are in my overall list of new things that I've gone and got. Are some NFC tags. So these were £1.08 for 10 of them. So these are going to get used in the overall setup that I'm going to have. Whether that's using things like Tasker or something like that. I think Home Assistant will actually use these as well, or will allow me to do things with these. So I've got some thoughts around these, certainly for at least one or two of them. But having 10 of them, I'm sure I'll be able to do plenty of other different things there as well. So this is something as I say, I've got a couple of ideas. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this. If you've used NFC tags within your smart home, be really keen to hear your comments of how you've gone and used them. So by all means, drop me some info in the comments section. Let me know what you've gone and done. So there you go, guys. Those are my Zigbee based devices that I've gone and bought to add on with my existing Wi-Fi devices onto my smart home network. Next step for me really is getting that Sonoff USB dongle flashed and those devices into Home Assistant onto the network, all set up and running. So there'll be a video coming shortly on that, because there's two ways of doing this with the dongles. So make sure you check out that video if you're interested in using that dongle. If you've used NFC tags in your smart home setup, you've got some interesting things that you're doing there. Make sure you comment down below, share that kind of thing. I don't think generally people use NFC tags as much as they use a lot of the other devices, but I have seen some interesting things. So I'd be really keen to see if you're actually using something like that. And obviously there'll be a video on using those, what I end up doing with them coming to the channel. But as always, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, you definitely don't want to miss the upcoming videos in this series. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.